Everyone asks the same questions: when to buy, when to sell, how much Bitcoin is enough. Almost nobody asks the question that actually matters. How do you hold Bitcoin without destroying yourself in the process? Because, honestly, buying Bitcoin is easy. Holding it quietly, patiently, over years is where most people fail. Most people, underestimate how difficult that really is. Not because Bitcoin is complex, but because human psychology is fragile. It's easy to say you're in it for the long term when nothing is happening. It's much harder when everyone around you has an opinion. Markets don't just test your conviction, they test your identity, your patience, your need to belong, and Bitcoin is especially good at exposing that. This video isn't about charts, it's not about price targets, and it's definitely not about hype. It's about the silent strategy used by people who've already been here before. The biggest lie in Bitcoin is that once you buy the right asset, the hard part is over. That's backwards. Buying is simple, holding is brutal. Most people don't lose Bitcoin because the price went down. They lose it because they couldn't handle the noise. Most people believe the danger is buying at the wrong time, at the wrong price, in the wrong market phase. But that's rarely what breaks them. What breaks them is time. Weeks of nothing happening, months of sideways movement, years where Bitcoin does exactly what it wants and ignores your expectations completely. Silence during those phases feels uncomfortable, almost threatening, and that's where most people start talking, posting, explaining, justifying, not because they want to, but because they're unsure. I've watched multiple cycles, different years, different faces, same mistakes every time. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is intention. It means not posting every thought, not explaining yourself, not seeking validation. The silent strategy is choosing longevity over attention. Loud people want to be right now. Silent people want to still be here later. Bitcoin doesn't reward those who speak the loudest. It rewards those who last. Over time, you notice patterns. There are 3 types of Bitcoin holders. The first is the loud one, always tweeting, always explaining, always announcing moves. They feel smart until pressure hits. The second is the nervous one, constantly checking price, optimizing everything, reacting to every headline. They mean well, but they burn out. Then there's the third type, the silent one. No announcements, no urgency, no explanations. You rarely hear from them. That's why they survive. The loud holder needs feedback. They need confirmation that they're right. Likes, replies, agreement. The nervous holder needs control. They adjust constantly, change plans, reassess every signal. Both feel productive, both feel active, but neither is actually stable. The silent holder understands something different. They understand that Bitcoin doesn't require constant input. It requires endurance. They don't confuse movement with progress, and they don't confuse silence with inaction. They are patient by design, not by accident. Silence creates advantages most people overlook. Fewer people know your position. Fewer opinions can influence you. Fewer emotions are triggered. Silence is security. Silence is psychological insulation. Silence is freedom. Every opinion you hear creates friction. Every conversation about your position creates doubt, even if it's subtle. And doubt doesn't need to be loud to be destructive. It just needs time. The silent strategy reduces emotional surface area. Fewer inputs, fewer reactions, fewer regrets. It's not about being secretive, it's about being undisturbed. The fewer people involved in your decisions, the clearer your thinking becomes. So, OG Bitcoiners, they don't see volatility as a danger. They see it as the price of admission. Bitcoin isn't really a trade. It's more like a time experiment. Boredom isn't a problem, it's actually a feature. If Bitcoin doesn't bore you sometimes, well, you're probably a bit over-engaged. Boredom is uncomfortable because it removes stimulation. There's no adrenaline, no urgency, no sense of action. But boredom is also a filter. It removes the impatient, the restless, and those who need constant engagement. What remains are people who can sit with uncertainty without needing to escape it. Bitcoin doesn't reward excitement. It rewards composure. Talking has a cost. Social pressure, lifestyle inflation, and, well, the urge to prove yourself right. The market punishes people who need to be seen, you know. Every explanation you give creates another emotional obligation. Silence removes expectations from others and from yourself. Bitcoin rewards patience. Noise destroys it. Most successful Bitcoiners aren't successful because they predicted anything. They're successful because they avoided unnecessary mistakes. They spoke less. They reacted less. They interfered less. The silent strategy isn't about complexity. It's about fewer decisions, longer horizons, and separating Bitcoin from ego. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to justify your conviction. Bitcoin works best when it doesn't become your personality. The more Bitcoin becomes who you are, the harder it is to think clearly about it. Silence keeps Bitcoin where it belongs, as a tool, not an identity. So the silent strategy isn't exciting. It doesn't feel impressive. There's nothing to show, nothing to announce. And that's exactly why it works. Bitcoin rewards people who can wait without needing reassurance. People who don't confuse attention with progress. People who understand that time is the real advantage. You don't need applause. You don't need permission. You don't need to be understood. You just need time and the discipline to stay quiet while it does its work. If this way of thinking resonates with you, you're already part of the quiet minority. Stay sharp. The climb continues.